Tub Lady, and from everybody here at Hot Spring Spas, congratulations on your new hot tub. And this video here is going to be a little bit long, but we're going to talk about tips and tricks and just things you should know as a first-time hot tub owner. I'm currently standing in front of a Hot Springs Grandie, and I'm going to kind of give you the tips and tricks in front of that one, but all of these work for any hot tub. So the tips and tricks I'm giving you, they're going to work for your hot tub in particular. There'll be definitely videos down below that break down the series and water chemistry and that type of thing. This one is just general information for hot tubs tips and tricks. The first thing is filling your hot tub. When you are filling your hot tub from an empty state, it's really important that you go in through the filter compartment, and then you're going to, on either a hot spot or a limelight, you're going to take off the gray standpipe. That's actually gray, and you're going to actually put the hose in through that gray standpipe, and then you're going to fill the water up completely. Any other hot tub that's out there, you're just going to put the hose in this whole compartment area. You're just going to put the hose in this area, and then you're going to just fill the hot tub that way. Now, the other piece of this is when adding water to a hot tub, it's really important that you put the hose in the footwell. And the reason for that is especially in the cold winter months, if the hot tub's 102 degrees and you're adding 42 degrees water into the hot tub and you put that in through the filter compartment, the hot tub will actually think it's freezing and it'll go into freeze guard protection mode. And that's really bad when it's 40 below out. So it's really important when you add water, you add it to the footwell, and when you're filling up from either a drain, clean, and refill or a brand new first time fill, you're going to go in through the filter compartment. So that's step number one as far as filling your hot tub. Step number two that's really important, just general hot tub knowledge, filters need to be pulled out and cleaned a minimum of once a month. If you have just a single filter, which most hot tubs do, you just want to pull that out and you're going to put that in, either soak it in a filter cleaner or you're going to put it in what we call a filter tab. You want to pull those out and clean them once a month. If you have a hot tub such as the Hot Springs, the most important filter is the one with that gray standpipe again. But when you want to make sure that this is always the cleanest filter, and right now this is actually a very dirty filter. This needs to be cleaned, so we're going to take a garden hose and we're going to go up and down. This is actually a Tri-X filter. If you choose, you can put this one in a dishwasher, but that's only on a Tri-X filter. But it's really important that you just rotate those filters. So like at home, I have 5 filters in my hot tub, and I own 6 filters. The 6th filter is I have soaking in a filter cleaner. So I just have one soaking in a filter cleaner, and then when I pull that out, I'm going to rinse that real good. That's going to go where the circulation pump is, and then I'm going to move each one of these filters to a new spot, and then I'm going to start cleaning the new filter. So that's one way to do it, a good way to do it. If you only have 1 or 2 filters, it's actually good to have a whole second set. And then what worked really well for me is I had 3 filters. I had 1 in the filter cleaner, 1 that was clean and ready to go, and 1 in the hot tub. That worked fantastic, especially those winter months. That would get me all the way through the winter, and I wouldn't have to clean a new filter. So just a good idea and a good thing to do. So filters are really important. If you're not cleaning them on a monthly basis, you probably need to replace them about every 6 to 8 months. If you are cleaning them, and if you're doing the rotation thing, you could get anywhere from 3 to 5 years out of the filter. But otherwise, plan on replacing your filter a minimum of once a year. So that's a really good idea there. When you're filling the hot tub, you always want to make sure you fill up to the pillows or above the highest jet. And you don't want to turn the power on before you do that. So it's really important that you fill that water all the way up. Do not turn the power on anytime sooner than that. If you have a 110 hot tub, just plug it in and it'll go. If you have a single 50 amp breaker, just flip that breaker on and it's ready to go. And if you are a dual amp breaker or a triple amp breaker, You always just want to flip those first. 30 amp breaker goes first, and then the single 20 or the 20 after that. But just give it just a second. Flip that 30 amp breaker, wait 5-10 seconds, then flip the 20 or the 220 breakers that you have. Then when you go to start the hot tub, you're going to go over here and you're going to hit your power button. If you have this control panel, the very first time you fire up, it takes a few minutes for the control panel to actually find the hot tub. Any other control panel, the power will just start right up. When you hit the jet button, you're going to hit the jet button. That first jet is going to come on, and it's going to gurgle and bubble, and it's just going to do it's going to scare you to death. And then you're going to hit the next jet button. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to be much louder and much more noise than what you just saw there, but that's going to get it all up and going, and everything's going to be great there. But don't ever turn the hot tub on before there is water in it and it's completely full. If you're on a salt system, more details down below, but if you're on a salt system, you only need to change that water once a year. If you're on a chlorine system or a spa frog system, you need to change the water every 3 to 4 months. So it's really important that you turn your breaker off or unplug the hot tub, then drain the hot tub. I personally like to have a submersible pump, and I just drain it with that submersible pump. Otherwise, you'll take your control panel off, or you take your access panel off, and there'll be a drain, or like this one here has got a drain, and you just hook a garden hose up to that, and then just drain it right out into the backyard. It'll be absolutely fine. It won't hurt a thing. So go ahead and do that. Drain it. If you feel the need, you can definitely get in there, wipe it all down real good. Otherwise, I'm lazy. I just fill it right back up. So that's a huge thing on that. If you ever shock a hot tub, make sure that the cover is open completely and it's open for at least a half hour. That's super important. That lets the bad, when you're shocking a hot tub, you put the chemical in there, it's gassing off. And if you have the cover on, it's going to take the bad stuff, it's going to hit that cover, and it's going to bounce back down into the water, and it actually makes the problem worse. So whenever you're shocking the hot tub, make sure that the jets are on and the cover is open for a minimum of 30 minutes. I'm going to give you a couple more tips on cover maintenance. So it's really important that about once every 3 or 4 months that you take a chemical or take a product called either 303 Protect It or Cover Shield. It's kind of like an Armor All type material. Just hose down the cover and wipe it down. It'll actually make the cover last a lot longer. A couple of tips and tricks on the cover itself. When you're not using the hot tub, make sure that you latch down the cover, in case a storm or something comes along. You definitely don't want to have that open because it'll rip the cover off and that type of thing. Most of our hot tubs have a cover lifter on, so if you have a cover lifter on, we typically do not install the clips on the back side, and if we do, it's really, really important that you remember to unhook those clips. There's no need for them with the cover lifters because that actually holds the back end of the cover down, but when you open your cover, just push the button. I think it's off on this side already, and then this is CoverMate 2, so you just open that, and you just give it a little push, and ta-da! That's it. That's all you have to do. On the other side, I actually have an upright cover lifter. Same thing, you're going to clip your covers if you're not using it. This one you want to flip open, and then flip open again, and then there's actually a lock that should be right here. You want to make sure that you have that lock on. If you don't, they don't actually have it installed on this one. You actually just want to push it forward. So you'll just have to put your thumb on the top, use your hand on the back to close it, and then you just pull that down and that closes that. So that's really important that you do that, especially those of you with teenage children. They forget to hit that lock piece and then it breaks that cover lifter. So a couple other points on covers. They do have to be replaced every 5 to 7 years. It's just part of owning a hot tub. There's really no way around it, but it is something that you do need to replace. It's something we can come out and install for you, or it's something a lot of people just pick them up and go that route. So if you ever have any questions on that, just give us a call here at the store and we'll get that replaced. We've got all your equipment on file, and we can definitely give you guidance on that. Probably the two biggest points that I can make to you is during the winter months, please check your hot tub at the minimum every 7 days. Even though it's super cold out, I hope you're using it, because using it in the winter is the absolute best time to use it, but check your hot tub every 7 days. Our number 2 biggest service calls is a hot tub is freezing in the winter, and what causes those 99% of the time is A, a dirty filter, and B, the water level's too low. Those are 2 things that happen like all the time, so it's really important that you do that. When that happens, you know, keep that water level above the pillows and keep those filters clean. And if you're checking it every 7 days, you have 14 days before a hot spring spa will freeze. So if you're checking it every 7 days, there's still time to save it. So check it at a minimum once a week. If you have the ready light, that's an awesome, awesome feature. Not every hot tub has one, but if you see this display here, where the green and the blue are both lit up and they're solid, everything's perfect and you don't need to worry about a thing. If something's blinking, go take a look at your hot tub. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Hot spring spas, every day made better.